Peoria, VideoMax Limited presents Midstate Magazine with your hosts, Lauren Rapsiak and Joey Fenn. The Midstate News with Matt Wedderston and Ashley Cassie with the Midstate Reporting Team. The Sporting Life with Lace Felty. State of the Arts with Kate Eepke. Ariana Barrett takes it to the streets, and Greg Toth takes us about town. Basta Mangiare with Joanna Maggio. In Need with Morgan Haywood, and Dawn Hodorowski brings us Spiritual Sabbath. At the Movies with Vanessa Strickland. And now from America's friendliest city, Midstate Magazine with your hosts, Joey Fandel and Lauren Rapsiak. Take it away, kids!
Hi, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Midstate Magazine.
Fantastic, Lauren?
Fantastic, Joey.
Well, I will look forward to this episode. So how are you, Lauren?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I can't complain. I'm doing fine. Feeling fine.
Weather's improving. Springtime's coming. We are doing great.
But you look very professional today.
Thank you. So do you. I like the
Really?
purple.
Really?
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Speaking of professionalism, I was just thinking, here at the college level TV show, we have all come a really far way in our lives. But what did you want to be when you were growing up?
Well, that's a good question. I had lots of different things. When I was 5, I wanted to be a marine biologist.
Really?
Then I wanted to be Macaulay Culkin for a short period of time.
Macaulay Culkin himself.
Yeah, himself. Not any of his characters from TV, just Macaulay Culkin.
Amazing.
And that kind of stayed with me up until about a year ago.
Really?
Yeah. Then I wanted to be a film director. Now I want to be an anthropologist.
Anthropologist, like studying
monkeys.
Monkeys.
Yeah, I want to just like leave society behind and go to Africa just for years and study monkeys. That would be the best job in the world because you just sit there, behind the brush and you, like
observing quietly.
Yeah. Today's vlog, the monkeys, scratched each other. I don't know. I'll find out what monkeys do and I'll record it.
That sounds like an amazing profession.
It would be an amazing profession. Then I'll go and I'll share my scientific journals with the rest of the planet.
That would be very fulfilling, I think.
What about you? What did you want to be when you were a young
Well, at my kindergarten graduation, I announced to the world that I wanted to be a scientist, and my mother was kind of shocked. But after that, it kind of went downhill. I wanted to be a paleontologist and a doctor. It was big, and then all of a sudden, I want to do art, and I want to sing, and my parents were disappointed. So
Really?
We are now, I'm a radio TV major, and I'm looking to work in television, just like we are right now.
Well, you're definitely in the right place. Let's go to Matt and Ashley with the news.
Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Midstate News. I'm Matt Wedderston.
And I'm Ashley Cassie. In local news, for the third year in a row, Illinois Central College is proposing a tuition increase. College officials claim the increase would help offset a decrease in state funding. The tuition hike of 7% would raise the cost per credit hour to $64. If the increase is approved, the college will receive an additional $900,000 in operating funds. The proposed increase would take effect in August. Most students can expect to pay an extra $30 per semester. And now Midstate reporter Crystal Lay brings us up to date on the latest in the Larry Bright murder case.
Between March 2001 and October 15, 2004, the bodies of 6 African-American women were discovered in the rural parts of Peoria and Tazewell counties. Larry Bright, 38-year-old former concrete worker, was brought into custody and charged with the murders of Linda Neal and Brenda Irving.
Sheriff Michael McCoy, head of the Multi-Jurisdictional Task Force, reveals to us that this investigation is far from over.
The public and everybody, this has been like a long, drawn-out procedure. To us, we're still into the investigating part of this case.
Media scrutiny has not discouraged the efforts of this force.
For people to think that we didn't pay attention to these murders until the October of 2004 is totally false and incorrect.
Many organizations have come together to collectively help solve this case.
When you take the Peoria County Sheriff's Office, the Tazewell County Sheriff's Office, the Peoria City Police, the Illinois State Police, Bloomington had an investigator here, and the FBI, and you take those 6 organizations and you put them together with the resources that we gave them and the 15 people, and if you take all those organizations, there was more like 22 people involved in this at the end.
The officials working behind the scenes are not the only ones that are credited with progress in solving this case.
The input from the public was absolutely crucial in solving this case.
Police are optimistic that Larry Bright will bring closure to this case and to all of the families affected.
Mr. Bright has been forthright and honest in what he has told us. Now, we've talked to him several different times. We've talked to him many different times. And each time we do, Mr. Bright remembers more and is cooperating with us. This was done textbook the right way, I believe. Task force, in my eyes, are nothing less than heroes.
Reporting from Midstate News, here at the Peoria County Police Department, I'm Crystal Lay.
Thanks a lot, Crystal. Illinois students have one less subject to study for. Lawmakers voted to eliminate all state tests not required by the No Child Left Behind Act. The decision to remove social sciences from standardized tests will save the state over $6 million annually. Social sciences will still be taught, but Illinois standardized testing will focus exclusively on math and reading. Now we're going to go over to the interview set where Jen Harris has a very special guest for us. Jen?
Thanks, Matt. Today I'm here with Lauren Williams, who's representing the Tunnel of Oppression. Hi, Lauren. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Can you tell us a little bit about the Tunnel of Oppression?
I'd love to. Tunnel of Oppression is kind of an abstract idea, so to break it down the simplest way, I can say it's an interactive tour. It's going to be set up in the ballroom, and students will go through with about groups of 15 to 20. And as they go through, each room touches on a different subject, such as racism, sexism, homophobia, terrorism, the aftermath of war. You name it, we pretty much have it in there. And what we do is we reach out to people in different ways, through skits, through media, through music, through art, and just kind of find a way to make people feel things that maybe they've never felt before instead of just hearing the definition of what it is.
So what kind of people would this appeal to? Can any student on campus come to this?
Actually, you know, the amazing thing about this project is it appeals to everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean diversity, not just in terms of black and white, but in terms of age, in terms of gender, in terms of majors. We approximately have 215 volunteers as of now, which is huge in itself. And if you come to a meeting, you see that diversity and you see everyone like caring about the same thing. It's amazing in that aspect.
Sounds like it really will bring everybody together.
I hope so.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do for the Tunnel of Oppression?
Yeah, personally, I'm one of the 3 student leaders. Kamal Bolden and Ron Davis are the other 2. And together, the 3 of us do a little bit of everything. We end up doing photo shoots to make posters. We do layout designs for the actual tunnel itself. We build walls. We're painting walls. We're recruiting. We're advertising. We do a little bit of everything for this project.
Can you go ahead and tell us a little bit about where it's at, how much it costs?
It'll be opening April 3rd. It'll run April 3rd through the 6th. With evening hours of 6 to 10, as well as 2 matinees on that Monday and Tuesday from 1 to 4.
Wow, that sounds really good. We know a lot about ahead of time. So thank you for joining us today on Midstate Magazine.
Thank you. It's nice meeting you.
Back to you, Matt.
Thanks, Jen. Dog tags may be a thing of the past. Midstate reporter Robin Anderson tells us more.
Hi, I'm Robin Anderson here at the Peoria Animal Welfare Shelter. In 2003, the Illinois Department of Agriculture passed a law stating that all shelters in Illinois had to microchip their animals.
This law was created in order to help animal shelters identify stray animals. The microchips, which are very small in size and inserted underneath the skin of the animal by injection, give each animal a particular identification number. This number can help the shelters identify each animal and either return the animal to its owner or take it to the shelter or veterinarian where the stray was microchipped. However, there are many problems that go along with the creation of this law. Even though it is mandatory for all Illinois animal shelters, it is unfunded and many animal shelters cannot afford to comply with the law. I talked to the director of the Peoria Animal Welfare Shelter, Lauren Malmberg, about this issue.
It is a costly enterprise. Microchips can cost between $4 and $10 if they're sold directly to a shelter. There is also the cost of implanting them, and that can add as much as $10 to an adoption or a redemption, which could require or could discourage people from adopting or discourage them from reclaiming their pets.
Momberg also said that other ways of identifying animals are more effective than microchipping because microchips can only be detected using a scanner.
We return so many more pets through the rabies tags and ID tags, multitudes more pets that way than we will ever return with microchips.
Momberg and employees from other shelters are now working on their own piece of legislation that would make microchipping optional.
For Midstate News, I'm Robin Anderson. Thanks, Robin. This week's Oddly Enough takes us to an auction house. Personal items from the Kennedy family were sold for more than $5 million. Many of the 600 items were sold for more than 20 times their actual value. A $100 sugar bowl sold for over $7,000. The property was co-signed by Carolyn Kennedy. A portion of the proceeds will go to the Kennedy Library Foundation. What would you have bid on, Matt? What would you have liked to keep from the Kennedy family?
I would have taken the bowl of sugar, but just not for $7,000 probably.
Well, that's all we have for this week's edition of Midstate News. I'm Ashley Cassie.
And I'm Matt Wetterston. Back to you guys, Lauren and Joey.
Thank you, Ashley, and thank you, Matt. Now, Joey, we talked about work. Let's talk about play. What was your favorite game when you were a kid?
Favorite game? Is this board games, or what are we talking about here, Lauren?
Anything. Board games, playground games. What did you do? What were you into?
My friends and I, we'd play a lot of guns, you know, because we were little boys. But usually that just ended in us fighting with each other over who shot who, you know.
That kind of the quarreling goes through any genre of game. I've never seen a game of Monopoly end. Ever.
I hate Monopoly.
Because by the end, everyone's so
Monopoly.
frustrated.
Yeah.
Everyone's so frustrated, you know. If one person has all the hotels, one person's stealing money from the bank, they just flip the board over.
Yeah, mine always end with a Gah!
I've never seen
And
a game of Monopoly end.
Two friends hating each other for the rest of their lives over even like the different offshoots, like the Star Wars Monopoly, and I think there's Simpsons Monopoly. There's a Monopoly for every franchise out there. They're all.
It's a cruel game.
They start out really fun, and you're like, yay, Monopoly! Then, you know, over time it gets too much. It gets to be too much.
So maybe we should just stick to the playground games of guns and cowboys
like
and
flashlight
that sort of
tag,
thing.
all that fun stuff.
But anyway, it's time for sports with Blaze.
Head coach of the Lady Knights basketball team, John Gross, about his 33-0 basketball season.
I've had a few other undefeated seasons in the regular season, but these kids are special. I mean, we've come together from really all over. We've had some transfers. We've had some kids move up from the lower levels that would normally be playing sophomore ball. They've done a good job for us, and so I'd have to say chemistry. We've just come together and we played well most of the season.
I asked Coach Gross about the teams gunning for him this season.
Oh, yeah, we've had a target on our backs all year long. Last year we kind of flew under the radar, and we lost some games that we probably shouldn't have, and it come to state tournament time and we made a good run then. This year we've started out and played well all season long, and since we were a team that went to state last year, everybody in the area has been after us, but so far we've been able to hold everybody off.
Coach Gross explains how his team hasn't changed practice.
At the beginning of the year we practiced 2.5 hours, and it's a lot more running and conditioning. Now we just try and keep him in shape, and we practice about an hour and a half a day, and we go over things. We get ready for the game. Day before the game, we do more preparation than we probably would have earlier in the year.
Undefeated team isn't without its rivalries.
Me coaching at Limestone for 27 years before I came here, a lot of the Middle Illini schools still have rivalries because of me. And then the Midstate 6, Central and Woodruff and Richwoods have all three been strong for the last 4 or 5 years, so we have that. Then Galesburg, we've met in the Holiday Classic over at Normal the last 2 or 3 years, and in their tournament, plus in the state tournament series. It's probably our biggest rival right now.
This has been Blaze Felty for Midstate Sports.
Thanks, Blaze. That was awesome. So, Lauren, did you play any sports, you know, in high school?
I was not a sporting girl.
No.
I did theater and music. Sports terrified me.
Yeah.
And even back in grade school, I tried Girl Scouts. I was selling the cookies and getting the badges, and I actually played flute for a year. And that was before I discovered vocal art. And, you know, I'd never actually learned how to read music.
Really?
I've been in music all through grade school and high school, and I never actually learned how to read it.
Never learned how to read it, but you consider yourself a musician? And
Yeah, I did choir, musicals, sang in church.
But can't read it at all?
I do it by ear. But how about you, Joey? What'd you do? Any sports?
Not really, but it wasn't from a lack of trying. I tried out for the golf team my freshman year because I was like, I gotta get involved, you know, I had a freshman mental. But that didn't work out well. Then I had enjoyed a brief stint in track. But I found out then that I really don't like exercising, like running. I don't like it.
I see.
It's not fun.
Prefer to just kick back.
I prefer to just eat. and
Eat?
watch television. That's really what I like to do more than anything else.
I think sleep is pretty high on my list, actually.
Sleep, eat, TV.
And now it's time for Spiritual Savvy with Dawn.
This is Sister Duvall from OSF Healthcare. I had the privilege of speaking with her about her faith and what led her to become a nun.
I was very young, and I can remember wanting to spend my life belonging to God and then to do whatever it is that He would ask me to do in the service of His people.
Here in the chapel, Sister Duvall performs some of her spiritual roles for her patients.
I see my role as a sister as being first and foremost there for them, that whatever needs they have, spiritual being a very, very important dimension.
Sister Duvall explained the relationship between herself and the employees of OSF.
What we do is we share with our employees why OSF was founded in the first place, that it really stems from God bringing our religious community into existence.
Jim Farrell, the corporate director of marketing, explained when OSF was first started.
Actually, 1875, there were a group of sisters that came down from Iowa City, and it could have been 1876, I might be off a year here, and did some care of orphans in the Peoria area.
I asked Mr. Farrell how many hospitals are associated with OSF.
Right now there are 5 in Illinois, and then there's also a hospital up in Upper Michigan, Escanaba. And at one time we had a dozen hospitals throughout the Midwest.
The Order of St. Francis is an order of the Catholic Church that focuses on health care, as Sister Duvall explains to us.
They were a community devoted entirely to health care, so it just put two tremendous loves together, to want to belong to the Lord and live a religious life, and then to give my life in service through health care. It was just the perfect match.
OSF is not just a hospital. It's a place where patients can come to feel loved and taken care of. This is Dawn Hodorowski from Midstate Magazine. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Dawn. That was really inspiring. Now, Joey, I really respect those people who can devote their entire lives to their faith as their occupation for the rest of their existence. I don't know if I could ever do that.
Really?
Yeah, it's such a life of solitude and prayer.
It really is. Although I think I could see myself as a priest.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Really, truly?
And it has its benefits, I think.
Well.
But I'm not Catholic, so I probably couldn't do it.
Oh, well. Now, when it comes to occupations that are unique, there's so much out there that I have so much respect and just serious props for, like firefighters,
dentists,
just rescuing people. And my father is actually a truck driver.
Really?
And you may not think that's all that odd, but I don't think I could actually make a life out of that either. It's just
why not?
Because it's just driving constantly, and you're always looking for a new destination.
I think that'd be great. You know, like let's get these textbooks to Florida, and you know the big show. That's where it's at.
If you think so.
Let's go to Vanessa with the movie review now.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Get Real. I'm Vanessa Strickland. With the recent spell of action movies and horror films, we here at Get Real felt that it was time to take a step back and look at a family-friendly comedy. Oscar, voiced by Will Smith, is a listless fish who is extremely unhappy about his lot in life.
Mac Daddy fish like me has to have the basic necessities.
Yeah, like money.
Oscar feels that he is a nobody because he is stuck in a dead-end job and is not able to afford the finer things in life.
The top of the reef. Where do somebodies live?
After a number of failed get-rich-quick schemes, Oscar finds himself in massive amounts of debt to his boss.
Guaranteed cash extravaganza. Bottled water.
That's it. That's it. I've had it.
Oscar's boss, voiced by Martin Scorsese, does not appreciate the situation that Oscar has put him in, so he attempts to rectify this in the most efficient manner possible.
Take it easy on you. But Sykes is not here. True.
All right.
Guys, guys. Don't leave me alone.
When the boss's attempt to eliminate Oscar is cut short by an attacking shark, Oscar is elevated to iconic status because he is believed to be a shark slayer.
Yeah, exactly how it looked. That's how it is.
What happened?
Oh, you...
Though DreamWorks has had much success with previous computer-animated films such as Shrek, Shark Tale falls short of expectations. The computer animation is not as high quality as that of Shrek, and at times seems very rough around the edges. Not at all as smooth flowing as would be expected from a film with as much hype as Shark Tale received. On top of its animation problems, the characters within the movie were not as believable as they could be. The characters of Oscar, when trying to be funny, just seems to be juvenile, and while some of the characters' comments tend to warrant a chuckle, nothing was truly laugh-out-loud funny. If you're looking for something that is going to be a gut-busting good time, then Shark Tale would not be a movie to watch. But if you're just looking for a quick chuckle, then Shark Tale may be a movie to consider checking out. That's it for this week's edition of Get Real. I'm Vanessa Strickland. Back to you, Lauren and Joey.
Thanks, Vanessa. Shark Tale.
I saw that pretty
Really?
recently.
Yeah?
It was cute, but I kind of agree with that review. Not too big of a blockbuster.
Yeah. I like sharks.
I like
I'm
fish.
A fond did you have any fish when you
Yeah,
were?
yeah. That movie reminded me when I was a kid. I had a big tank full of fish, and I started out with goldfish, and I can distinctly remember the names of almost all my goldfish as a kid. But when I got tropical fish, it was a big deal. And I had this one, it was a Dalmatian Molly, white fish, black spots. Its name was Dot.
Yeah.
And it just kept having babies.
Really?
Like 8 times,
my
even
fish
after
didn't live to the age where they could procreate. They always died, like right away.
Did you feed them?
I think so. I mean, I was really young. We would just like fill up a bathtub out back and be like, there you go, fish.
There you go,
I
fish.
don't know.
Rock out, little fishy.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, my fish would continue having children even after its mate fish passed away. So we were told that was completely healthy.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Let's go to State of the Art with Kate.
State of the Art with Kate.
Hi, welcome to State of the Arts. I'm Kate. This week we've got a special treat for you. Singer-songwriter Barry Cloyd is here to perform one of his original pieces. So take it away, Barry.
Born as the leaves were softly turning in the light of the dying hunter's moon, just a boy child of nature slowly learning to the rhythm of the rolling river's tune. Sitting with my father by the fire, learning sacred tales of long ago. As the boy became a man, the flames arched higher. I became the sum of all my people know, and my spirit is already there. Walking in the valley of the sun, looking in the eyes of the future, celebrate the race already won. One dark night the autumn's forest whisper grew so loud it shook me from the ground, while the light of the softly fading embers, I saw the blue coats with their long guns come around. The quiet of that night turned into terror as they ended all the life I ever knew. And my father through his fine warrior's anguish, well, he told me with his eyes what I must do, and your spirit is already there. Walking in the valley of the sun, looking in the eyes of the future, celebrate the race already won. His eyes told me to gather in the living and slip into the warm, protective night. Make for my uncle's distant valley, away to the west some 8 days' flight. The thundering of their hooves rang in the distance as we pushed ourselves beyond what we could stand. Through days and nights of hell we heard that drum beat, called to the west by Black Hawk's spirit band. And my spirit is already there, walking in the valley of the sun, looking in the eyes of the future, celebrate the race already won. As that valley opened up before us, my uncle's people came with open hands. And the words my father's eyes cried at our going, they burned deep within my weary heart again. He said, your spirit is already there, walking in the valley of the sun, looking in the eyes of the future, celebrate the race already won. So for those of you with shackles on your longings, spend yourself in someone else's day. Just gather up your things and start your journey. Let your body join your spirit on the way, because your spirit is already there, walking in the valley of the sun, looking in the eyes of the future, celebrate the race already won. And my spirit is already there, walking in the valley of the sun, looking in the eyes of the future, celebrate the race already won.
Great job, Kate, and great job, Barry. You know, you really got to respect people that can play instruments like the guitar and stuff like that.
And sing at the same time.
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
That's like 2 different wavelengths they have to concentrate on.
I have a lot of friends that play the guitar and the piano, things like that, and I have complete respect for that because it's beyond me.
Now, Barry's a good example of someone who I'm sure had a dream and followed it and made a life out of it. He, singer-songwriter, is amazing. So
yeah, definitely.
You and your friends, do you sit around and just have jam sessions, or is that?
Well, like I said, I can't do it, but
You
I'll sit and I'll listen to them. Like, I have one friend, Dan, who plays the piano, and we'll just go over and we'll sit and we'll listen. Then we'll get really bored and we'll be like, let's go, let's get out of here. Because you know, no matter how good someone is at the piano, you can only listen for so long.
Well, that's why friends are so great, because you can always have something else to do. You can listen to music, you can go out and play. Like when we were kids, the big thing was, if you don't do things my way, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. And it was.
I still do that.
Still to this day.
Yeah, definitely. I'm like, I won't be your friend if you.
Joey, I believe it. But I always found that friendships as children are kind of catty, because you're trying to be on top in society, and now that we're our age, you can really appreciate the time you spend together just sitting around with that guitar.
I disagree,
You
Lauren.
disagree?
I disagree. I
How
think
so?
I think it's the other way around. When you're young, actually, I have no idea where I'm going with that. I just want to disagree with you.
You just want to disagree with me.
Yeah.
Joey, you don't have to be my opposite all the time.
Okay.
It's totally okay.
Okay. Yeah, you were definitely right. Friendship is fleeting and fun and blah blah blah. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, from all our friends at Midstate Magazine, we had a great show, and we'll see you next time.